Hello, FlossTube viewers. Or just YouTube in general, depends on who wants to watch this. I've come here with another update. My apologies, it's actually a week later than well, I wouldn't say expected, but I was hoping for it to be. I was wanting to record it last week, pretty much. But purchases I was hoping to make had to be delayed. They were actually going to be birthday money purchases, but the birthday money wasn't available until the last couple of days. So I didn't make said purchases till yesterday. And I will show you the images, the cover images for those purchases. Might be a hint as into what they are. And like at the end. Excuse me, I got groggy throat because this is like my 4th or 5th attempt at this video. Stomach, wheeshed. Yay. Everything wants to disturb me today. I have limited light as it is because we got the on-off snow showers. They're not all that great, but we have on-off snow showers, so lighting goes a bit nah. Anyway, first thing to show, get off, is my good old staple project, the best down sampler. Oh yeah, and I'm using the 4-inch hoop because of doing individual boxes. I don't think I've actually shown off the hoop I use for doing the individual boxes, but that's my mother's 4-inch embroidery hoop. And that's the Polly Pocket I keep in. So, my most recent update since last month. We now almost have 3 pages finished. The base of page 3 is done. I'm just working on the Coral Dragon, which is the current... I can't talk. Which is the current dragon. My one ran out on my birthday. So on the Sunday the 18th of March, Coral. So for any user, as the date says, 18th March to 17th April, that's your birthstone, Coral Dragon, and it's a Leviathan, I believe. Underneath, you got Rock Crystal, Peridot, Coral. Underneath, you got the Flames from Ruby, the top part of the Moonstone Dragon, and the top part of Topaz. Hopefully, this is actually showing up properly because I keep trying to get the camera angle sorted and it doesn't always work. It's sometimes squint, sometimes too far away, sometimes too close, sometimes too high, sometimes too low. But anyway, that is my progress on that one. And for those that haven't seen what the full thing actually looks like, this will be the awkward part. There you go. And although it's going to be awkward to see, the text at the bottom middle box is the list of sign names and their respective stones. In fact, the bottom box is, they're actually the November to December stones, because there's actually it's a November to December sign, but represented by 2 stones. So, hence 2 boxes. And because September itself is taken up by one particular sign, that actually makes it kind of awkward. That's why I have the list of the stones, actually. I had to have something to fill the middle box. Yeah. There's 13 dragons, not the standard 12, that was in the actual default birthstone sampler. Darn you, Emerald babies. 2nd to 29th of September. You had to make the blimmin' sampler awkward. And darn you, November to December folk. November whatever to December 23rd. I believe it is. With your jet dragon represented by onyx and obsidian. And that's actually what they're respectively going to be. Onyx on the left, obsidian on the right. One is black and, well, black, very dark greys and golds. And the other one is black, very dark greys and silvers. Although slightly big greys I use for that later on. I don't know. But that's that one. I think I might have shown a bit of this off last month. But there was a bonus part. Actually, I believe I did, but I'm just going to go over it again for the update. There was a bonus pattern for, well, as a thank you for participating in that stitch along, and that was called Claw Stitcher, and it was a reddish colour dragon with the orangey yellows highlights. It's on the end of its tail, his wings, and all that sort of stuff. I say his. The actual pattern actually had the eyelashes. I took them off because whenever I looked at the dragon, to me it looked masculine, although I think it was supposed to be female. An androgynous, genderless dragon, make it easier. You think I was talking about Nightmarian from the Night series. But the genderless dragon, after 13 days, there's my progress. And you might be thinking to yourself, why is it cut up? That's because yesterday I just had this random thought go in my head. Because my birthstone, one of the two animals, is a green dragon, why don't I change its colours? It's the exact same design as the green, when you look at the actual body shape and design, it's the exact same as the green dragon. All I need to do is change the colours. So I did. Where are they? The colours I will be using are all in this box. It's going to be awkward to hold, and they're likely to fall out. But a bunch of greens. We have forest green, which is the one I used for... I don't know where that went, I'll find it in a minute. There's forest green, which was used for peridot, although what I thought was forest green very dark was actually Christmas green medium, as I discovered when I went in the bag to fish the forest greens back out and fished at the actual forest green very dark. In fact, when looking in the bag, I keep these in. I've actually got the full collection of forest green. I didn't realise that. So that's very light, 253, to very dark, 258. Anchor colours. For those that might wonder, well, I've never heard, possibly not heard of those colours, or that numbering doesn't match what I'm used to. It's Anchor. Actually, non-branded cottons and flosses, but Anchor colour numbers. Because when I originally bought some, that was the main colour, like the main brand. Them and the Moon brand, which I think's a Chinese one. I don't know. But for a comparison of the original, that's what he will look like. The forest greens, and what I thought was pistachio is actually avocado, as according to the list at the bottom of the page. And yes, I know people like to complain that you shouldn't show off the patterns, but one, that is page maps, so technically all you will see is the dragon, and two, it's symbols on colour. Good luck deciphering that, unless you're looking at the individual pages. Good luck deciphering that. Actually, with me moving it about all the time, and even just trying to hold it up here, and no offence, but I would be surprised if you can see what I'm holding. But yeah, that's Claw Stitcher. Again, that's what he'll look like when he's finished. And the comparison to his original design, there you go. And now that I've shown that off, that can go in the bin. And she completely misses it, lands on the floor. It'll go in the bin when I finish recording. Right. Another pattern, I actually was working on it a couple of weeks back. I was hoping to finish it before my birthday. Didn't work out. I might try and finish it before Mother's Day, which is, I think, middle or end of next month. I think the UK shares the same date as like the US and all that. I'm not too sure. But ours is March. Our Mother's Day is March. It's either... No, I don't think it's the US that shares it. I think it's Australia. UK, Ireland... Australia, New Zealand. I think I'll have this March. I could be wrong. But, yeah. That pattern is a little bunny rabbit holding a heart-shaped balloon. And I've barely progressed with it because, although I use Ada, this is 16 count, which I thought, it's just slightly smaller than 14. It'd be not bad. And this is on my tiny 3-inch hoop. And I've not taken it off the 3-inch hoop because it was actually awkward to put on it, believe it or not. But normally something this small, like material, I would do the stitch in hand, but no, I couldn't stitch on it properly. It just kept flopping about. So I put it in the hoop. All I've done, even though it's awkward to see, is the clouds. That was 1/1, as stated to be done in the chart, and the balloon, which is supposed to be 2/1, but I didn't like the look of it, so I changed it to 1/1, and it looks better, in my opinion. So the entire thing is going to be 1/1. Yeah, and sorry I'm not holding it up properly, but yeah, it's small. It's rather small to see, even when I'm looking at it. So to make it easier to see again, that's what the full design looks like. And because the card itself is blank, it's just got that there, but the actual inside of the card has no writing. Yeah, that's definitely good for a Mother's Day card. Now, I'm not just going to think that. I think, I'm not just going to say I'm going to possibly change it to being a Mother's Day card. It's definitely good for one. So I'll put that back in there. Good, eh? One pattern that obviously I started last year, but I have of it, and you can tell I've tried recording this a few times, can't you? A pattern that I started last year while I was waiting for this laptop to be to reinstall, well, Windows to reinstall on it, was an image known as Sleeves. It was of a fan version of the character Reala from the Knights video game franchise. And all I got is still the outline of his left shoulder and a bit of the left side of his neck ruff thing. I say neck ruff. He doesn't have a neck. His head floats over his body. He doesn't have wrists either. His hands just float in front of his arms. There's certain limbs that he doesn't have. I don't know if he even has ankles. You never get to see. Anyway, if you notice, I was showing off there I'm using hoops, and I'm using my wooden bar frames. This one is 10 by 12. The going to be restarted cloth stitcher is 8 by 9. You're probably wondering, well, do I just keep them nicely organised over the side with the rest of my stuff? Yes, I do. However, when it came to tidying up the bag and shifting things, it was like, excuse my stomach. Like, my 3 largest hoops, the 12, 10 and 9, to put them from largest to smaller, were just slotted down the side behind one of my teddies that I ended up rescuing with the Scottish Wildlife Trust, because people decided to leave it outside the workshop. So I brought it home. That was, they were just sitting there. The 8-inch hoop all the way down to 3-inch, of which 4 and 3 I'm using, obviously. But all the smaller hoops were in an envelope. Well, the 8-inch hoop came in when it was posted. And that was always been either just put somewhere, that envelope in general, or stuffed in the bag that keeps all my cross-stitch stuff in. Just wherever I can put it in, just chuck it in the bag. The bar frames, as they're officially called, well, at least according to the label thing for them, they were in their well, I wouldn't even say Polly Pocket, but sorry, they're resealable bag, but regardless whether or not you took bars out of it, the smaller ones were forever shifting about, and if you take bars out, the whole lot shifted about, and it got real annoying. So, because when it comes to getting packs of rolls, we always got the big multi-pack, the bag that has like packs of 12 in, as in like 4 individual packs of 6. I decided I'll keep those bags because it'll come in handy, as shown with the Rialo picture. That's what's inside, is one of those big bags. I've decided to put my hoops and my bar frames inside one. Keeps them all together, and they get put, and it fits down where I had the 3 biggest hoops. And you may notice that there is masking tape not only on the hoops but some of the bar frames. I decided that I would leave the masking tape on because, according to the instructions, you put masking tape, well, you use masking tape to hold whatever material, like fabric, you're using to the bars, and then you use staples from a staple gun or drawing pins to, fix it properly. Before doing the whole drawing pin thing, I decided, and before even put the masking tape to the fabric and attaching it, I thought, put masking tape around the bars, because it might help slightly protect them from, maybe, if there was ever a chance of them splitting. Because sometimes when you put the drawing pins in, you have to put them in really deep, and even with the smaller ones, it might not be good. So I put, wrapped them in masking tape as a protective layer. And it was every time I went to use them, I'd put the masking tape layer on. When I finishes them, I'd take them off. Thus, obviously, the next time, rinse and repeat, which used a lot of my masking tape. In fact, I've ran out of masking tape. And that's just from generally using them, be it for the bars themselves or affixing material to the bars. So I figured, no, I'm going to leave what masking tape's on them for future use. And as I said, I ran out. So not all bars have tape. I'll have to wait till I get some more. Stomach, why are you complaining? I had cereal. Okay, it was like 3 hours ago, but I had cereal. Anyway, that's the in progress stuff. Soon to be restarted. And by soon I mean after I've finished the video. And my nice neat storage of my things to hold fabric. Let's get on with my purchases that I had to wait the week to be able to do. In the last video I showed off pictures of the Ingleside Imaginarium spring and summer dragons. This month I managed to complete the collection because recently winter got released. Here is autumn. That was released late last year sometime. I think it was like about October. Could have been beforehand, but it was released last year. And released, I believe, this week. Because Brittany said it'd be the end of February, so it was either this week or the end of last week. Yeah, so yeah. Recently, okay? We have Winter Dragon. So that completes the entire set. I got spring and summer pictures wherever I put them. Although I think they're on the back of some pattern sheets, like the old red pattern for cloth stitcher, which means they went in the fire. Fire view for coal fires, wonderful. It's one way of recycling. But yeah, there's autumn with his pumpkin and winter with his reef. Most of the dragons are actually masculine, at least from the looks of it, I'd say they're masculine. Because spring is to me, definitely looks feminine. Summer can go either way. I believe summer might be androgynous. No gender at all, because some folks refer to summer as male, some as female, so yeah. Summer's androgynous, goes both ways. Actually, no, I think the official term for that is hermaphrodite. Yeah, equalities in gender department. I think that's cool. But yes, I'm afraid that was my only purchases. But yeah, I managed to get the other 2 patterns for the seasonal dragon collection. So I got a lot of dragons to work on. I got a Night Maiden, a bunny, and a ton of dragons. Why do I like dragons so much? Because it's the 4 seasonal ones, what's left of all the Burstone sampler ones, there's Claw Stitcher. Yeah, I think I like dragons a bit too much. Or it could just be the fact that I like Brittany Church's designs. But as per the norm, I'll link her channel in the description box so you can see any of her update videos, because I wouldn't be surprised if in the next week she will post one, because she's just released the Winter Dragon on Thursday because it's the 1st of March. For those that's participating in this year's Gargoyle Sal, I think it's Guardians something, or something Guardians. I've forgotten the actual full name of it. But this year it's to do with Guardian various statues around the Notre Dame Cathedral. Mostly gargoyles. But, like, January was a gargoyle, February was what looked to be like an eagle or something. We'll find out what this month is on Thursday, obviously. You know, it could be another gargoyle, it could be something else. But because of the releasing them, I wouldn't be surprised if our video will be at the weekend or early next week. So I recommend people go to Ingleside Imagineering YouTube channel. If you yourself are interested in participating in her Sal, you know, maybe working on the pattern from last year's, or, you know, just buying her stuff in general, she has an Etsy store, Ingleside Imagineering. And she's got her Facebook group also associated with it. Yep. That's my shameless plug. Actually, no, I got another channel I'd like to plug, because I was watching it recently, and that's Stitching Shadow, or Shadows, I'm not sure if it's plural, but that was another channel I've been watching recently. Really good videos. I recommend you go check her out. She lives in Massachusetts. I'm sorry for those that live in the area. Massachusetts. For those that live in the area. She might be. You think I've had to pronounce it properly, because a fellow video gamer that I occasionally join in on, his video recordings. He lives there. He lives in Springfield. And there's actually another, a member of the Sonic ROM hacking community, like Sonic the Hedgehog video game franchise, the ROM hacking community. He lives in Lynn, Massachusetts. So you'd think I could pronounce the state. No. So once again, my apologies to anyone that lives there or near it. I'm sorry I'm butchering the name of your home. Or neighbouring area. Anyway, I'm now going on to ramble sessions. I'm going to sign off, because my throat is starting to kill me from all these attempts at recording. I need to tidy up all the mess I've just made on my bed. I would like to get started with the colour converted claw stitch. And I'm, believe it or not, kind of getting bored at looking at this glorious fan art of Bendy the Ink Demon from the game Bendy and Ink Machine. It's a nice picture, but staring at it this whole time just get a bit boring. So later. See you next month, which will actually be my year's anniversary of FlossTube videos. Not the year's anniversary of watching FlossTube, because I did that. Because September, October was when I first watched, or October, November was when it was 2015. Okay, late 2015 was when I first started watching FlossTube. So